do check. That's a good thing about being a twin, right? Because if he's got something in his teeth or something, you can let him know, you know?
Booger in your nose. Right?
Yeah, make sure it's on point, right?
Yeah, but it can happen.
You always check each other, you know, make sure.
Other side. You guys want to switch?
I don't know.
Oh, there's the same side. Same side. Get over there, please.
They're always complaining, you know?
Well, that's both of them. All right, you guys. It's like, you guys do Kung Fu. They're like, yeah. And they're like, where's your twin at? Where's your brother at? Right. And I was like, oh, he couldn't make it. He's having a baby. So, well, the next time we see you, you better have your twin with you.
That's my twin. We just found out we were twins. Isn't that cool?
And I'm your twin brother.
We call this here a little twin.
Twin tapping up a jet ski.
We're having a good time with our guys, the Wing Chun Twins. We're in Pompano Beach, Florida.
We've been training since 2010 now.
Okay.
We're here. We've had this school here for quite a few years, and we're here and spreading the art, the Wing Chun Twins.
Definitely got to check these guys out. They're in Pompano Beach, Florida once again, and this is TYTWINZ Twinnin' Ain't Easy, and we're going to take you guys on a tour of their dojo so you can see how Wing Chun masters get down.
Okay.
Yeah. You guys, so Kyle, you're the A twin, Ted is the B twin, and we're walking right here through their dojo. So show us what do we have in here, guys?
Yeah, so this is, so just to set it clear, dojo is Japanese martial arts school, and since we do Kung Fu, which is a Chinese martial art, it's known as a Mogun. This is our Mogun here. Just a few photos on the wall here. We have, we are part of the Ip Man lineage, and under the Ip Man lineage, our Sigun is a gentleman named Grandmaster Moy Yat here. This is another photo of Grandmaster Moy Yat, as well as a group photo of our Sifu, Grandmaster Julian Cordero, or Moy Ha, and then ourselves here. We're also writers for Wing Chun Illustrated, official magazine worldwide on Wing Chun. And yeah, you guys could also come check out the dragons we got here, twin dragons. In Chinese culture, you have twins are known to bring a lot of fortune, known as heaven and earth. So what you'll see is that we have a red dragon, and there's also a black dragon. And the red dragon is slightly higher, and the black dragon is slightly lower, representing heaven and earth, which means really like the cosmos, the balance between this realm that we're in. Right. Okay. You know, the great thing about Wing Chun is you don't need a lot of space or room or nothing like that. You can go by very basics. It's not like we have to go, hold on, let's go ahead and put out the mats, guys. You got the mats in the car, and then let's, hold on, do you have your headgear? Do you have your mouth guard? Do you have the gloves on that we can put on too? Right. You know, like there's not a lot of things that we need, right, to be able to do our training. You could be in a closet, you could be on the airplane, you could be wherever you want to do and still do Wing Chun. That's the great thing.
I like that. Like a kind of minimalistic, like when it comes to like equipment, not having so many
you don't need that.
things.
It's not very practical then, right?
Right.
This is a very popular tool within the Wing Chun system. A lot of artists like to also adopt it in theirs, but you know, there's a saying that we always say is practice without theory is wasted effort, and theory without practice is dangerous, right? So you got to have the practice and the theory behind everything that you're doing, right?
Right.
So this is a lot of fun here. Okay, and this is also another photo of our Sifu right here. We like to honor him, have his photo up when we're training in front of him, make sure that we're staying clean and pristine. You know, our Sifu was the first Westerner to learn Wing Chun Kung Fu by Grandmaster Moy Yat, and he's opened up many hands under Moy Yat's school. One noticeable person that maybe many of you might know is one of Bruce Lee's top students, is Danny Santo. He came and trained under Moy Yat for a while, and he opened up his hands to Wing Chun.
That's awesome, bro.
So pretty cool, right? Small world.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
What do these represent, if anything?
Yeah, so this was a gift from one of our Kung Fu uncles when we opened up the school to help with prosperity, right? And then some other dragons here was donated from the students. So a lot of the stuff here was donated by the school and the students helping out us spread the art of Kung Fu.
Okay.
So that's a great thing. You need a strong community, and being a twin definitely helps, you know, stay on the path, right?
Right. Always.
Yeah.
Always. Even when you don't want to be on the one, someone's pulling you along on the path, you're like, yeah. So we deal with that all the time. How did this whole thing start? Let's talk about your childhood, like when you guys were brought up and stuff, and what your inspiration was behind starting Kung Fu or Wing Chun Kung Fu specifically.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you know what's funny is that we started off in karate first. We had been doing that for a few years, from probably around the ages of 9 to maybe 12, something like that. But we kind of got exposed to a McDojo. Now there are real karate out there if you're ever so lucky to find someone that's legit master in it. But our experience experience wasn't really the sense. It was more like a belt factory, because even at a young age, I seen other students that were excelling, but you know, their technique wasn't good. Even at a young age, I could see that. So when I took some time off, and the sensei, he called me. He's like, "Hey, where are they at? Where are the twins at? I want them back. And do they want a black belt? I'll give it to them." And right there, he confirmed that, you know, it wasn't really about the art; it was about money. So took a hiatus from martial arts for a while. Did some boxing, and we got into a lot of other activities and sports and everything like that. But it wasn't until I would say my early 20s that I was working with a coworker, and we're working, and he goes, "Hey, Kyle, you know what that is?" And I was like, "No, what's that?" And he's like, "Oh, it's called Bong Sao, and it's in Wing Chun, and it's what Bruce Lee trained," because everybody knows who Bruce Lee is. So I figured, okay, well, shoot, yeah, what's that about? And he told me some guy, this Cuban guy, knew a lot of martial arts, and he was kind of practicing at his house, and come check it out. And after I met the guy and he explained the power of Wing Chun, the efficiency and the practicality, I went to look for someone that legitimately knew the art. And at my dismay, it was very difficult to find anyone that was legit in Wing Chun or Jeet Kune Do. And then one day I was getting off the highway, and I seen a sign, like one of those bandit signs right near the highway, and it said Wing Chun. And I was like, this is so serendipitous. I was just looking for it. Like, I don't think you guys understand. Like, I was willing to go maybe go to China or Australia to go find a legitimate program in Wing Chun for something specialized in that. I called the number up. He told me to visit him, and when I met him, then he started explaining who he was. Then he actually told me to attack him. He was in his 60s when I met him. I was a younger, stronger man, and I went in and I felt his hands were very heavy, like liquid mercury. And from that experience, I was like, okay, I gotta be around this guy, you know. So I took it upon myself to spend a lot of time around him. It's kind of like the Karate Kid in a way. I was at his house, always hanging out with him, you know, just making myself available around the Kung Fu. And you know, I would go to his house from time to time. We actually lived in the same apartment, right down the hallway from each other. And I'd go over there, and you know, he'd be hanging out the couch, and I would need a partner to train with. So I was like, "Hey, come here real quick," you know.
That's beautiful.
And we would slap box before we did Kung Fu, anyways. I would do the Wing Chun on him secretly without him really knowing I was doing it. And I seen his eyes light up, like, "What, you doing something different?" You know, like, and
that's awesome.
And that's how I slowly got him into it, and I bring him by the class, and eventually he started doing it too. So that's great, because you need a partner, and probably any martial art, you need definitely a partner to get good at. So, and with a twin, you know, similar height, similar weight, similar thinking, energy, everything is very similar. So it's less ego, I find, and more of like a harmony, more of like a coalition, a way to develop something specific. Yeah.
Wonderfully said. I was going to ask you guys that too later on, but I feel like with us, with the sport that we both play, we play a lot of basketball, and it's like when you play it so much, you learn the moves that the other person does. So he's learned to shoot the ball like extremely well, but quick, because I remember in high school I would block him a lot when we were practice, because we could jump.
He can anticipate.
I knew what he was going to shoot, and then now when he's playing against guys, he literally has an unstoppable shot, and it's like, you know, he's going to shoot, and he just doesn't even look at your hand. He shoots. Sometimes we'll touch hands, and the ball goes in. I'm like, how is he able to do that? And I think people are so mesmerized at how precise he is and how unfazed he is, because he's always used to having a defender who's the same quickness, who's the same speed, who can jump just as high. And when you mention that,
knows your moves, but but I think to touch on the same thing, it's interesting when as twins you're able to share something with your twin, and he's like, how did you do that, or what did you do? And that's real tricky. You guys are the same, almost. You get compared, but when one of you go, look what I learned, you're like, whoa.
That's how we get better.
Like,
that's how we get better.
Or why are you able to jump so many inches, almost a foot, or so many inches higher than me? What did you do? Like, you're built the same. You know what I mean? And even like you said, with your training that you were able to show. I mean, that's funny, and one, that's funny, but it's awesome. But that's how
even like you know, there's a lot of Spanish people around here, and we'll go and grab maybe a café con leche around their area, and I notice I practice more Spanish, but it seems like he picks up the Spanish faster. He's not even practicing. Like, and even with the Kung Fu, like, I'll practice something, I feel like he like knows it like indirectly almost.
Right.
Like it's a certain type of integration between the two. Like to give you an idea, when we were growing up, I broke my collarbone. He broke his collarbone. Right? Like, I chipped my tooth. He chipped his tooth. Like a lot of similar accidents, everything. Yeah, like that. I don't know if you guys have seen the similar.
We've had like ankle injuries. Like he'll call me, man, my left ankle's. But I said, really? I twisted mine tonight playing basketball or whatever. So, or my shoulder's been bothering me, aching me.
And I'll just ask him left or right because I don't want people to go into the thing and think we're making it up. So for some time, like when you really are tuned in, I'll just ask him, hey, left or right? And he'd be like, yeah, I hurt my left shoulder or yesterday or my right shoulder. So I'm like, because if I didn't do anything to cause like pain, I'm trying to figure out why is my shoulder hurting or why is this feeling that way.
I think sometimes too, a lot of thoughts, like thinking the same thing, but it's just very interesting when you have those exact, like your teeth even getting chipped. That's very rare for you to get your tooth chipped, let alone both of you guys.
To give you an idea, you guys ever had like a sleep paralysis where you can't wake up?
Yes, I feel like I've had a few, but
I've had it one time. We were hanging out, and I was about to pass out, and I was about to feel like the sleep paralysis was going to happen, and then like 2 minutes later, I hear in the other room, and he had the sleep paralysis.
Oh wow!
What are the odds of that?
You guys are really locked in. In a way.
I feel like our brains and everything is just our nerves, even though we're not physically, we are connected. Like there's something that happens when we're growing inside of the womb together, and I feel like whether you call it twin telepathy, which I still really believe in, like I told people I was in my room doing homework. I'm humming a song in my head, like he walks by down the hallway, he's singing the song. Like, what are the odds of that? There's a lot of different songs and music that we listen to. I'm like, at the same time, and I almost had to catch it. And had I not been by myself humming that song, I would have just thought he was just singing whatever song. Who cares? There wouldn't even be a story. But the fact that he was singing the same song I was humming, it kind of shocked me. And I wanted to tell him, like, hey man, but eventually I ended up telling him. And it's just weird, little things like that happen. And I kind of wonder if there was a camera that was following you, but and then following Ted as well, what that would look like. But since you guys are already describing chipped tooth, clavicle, and all these things that are happening, it's like the same things are happening. Maybe not at the same time, but like the sleep paralysis, the dream. I mean, the
same thing with the songs that happens to us all the time. I'll be thinking of a song, he'll be saying like, then I'm thinking, did I tell him that, or did he tell me that, or who's saying?
And that's another thing, trying to recollect. Wait, did that happen to you, or did that happen to me? Because certain stories, especially as children, you're like, wait, was that me or was that you? Because you guys, you end up repeating it so many times over the years, and you're like,
or it's like a mirror. So it's like there's a mirror right here. So if we're like in a department store or something, and he's standing like maybe 20 feet away, but there's a mirror. If I'm not looking directly, I might think it's a mirror, and that's me. And it happens all the time. So when I recollect older stories when we were kids, I'm like, did I do that or did you do that? Because I see myself doing it, but was I watching him do it?
It could be a dream or anything. It just can kind of throw you off.
Once you started in Wing Chun, like what, I want to say, like, what did you experience that was different from the normal training that you had?
The other martial arts or everything else that I have done? Well, I would say it's deeper than just the martial art aspect. It's really a way of life. It's a philosophy behind it, principles, concepts, everything to integrate the individual to becoming the best version of themselves. So it's not really limited to specifically, some people want competition or they want to, use a specific technique, and I think it kind of limits growth.
Right.
So I would say that's probably one of the best things I like about it is that I'm always learning, and there's no belt system with Wing Chun.
I like that.
So there's a saying, with Wing Chun is that the hands do the talking. So you should know who's got more kung fu when you exchange hands, and you should know, right? And it's not really for everyone. You got to be kind of a smart person to develop the kung fu.
I like that too, that you guys don't have a belt system, because it allows people to really focus in on their skills instead of worrying about, oh, this person got this belt, I got that. Well, you know what I mean?
Right.
And they can train and kind of learn, and it takes away that, I feel like that stigma where it's like, that's like the the thing that people want. They want the belt. They don't always want to do the work and the training and all the discipline and all that stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
more like competitive mindset. I'm not taking anything away from that, but Wing Chun is kind of known as like an intellectual type of system, a thinking art, not just a fighting art.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so a totally different approach altogether. No, just having a twin brother, I think you can really take it to the next level than find yourself fighting against each other more than in harmony with each other. Yeah.
So you said you just made that statement like the hands do the talking. So between the two of you, how often do one of you show that your hands are better than the other?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
More dominant.
Yeah, more dominant. Or
even
do you
if
guys
it's a
run
different
into a lot of,
technique.
or do you run into a lot of draws where like, okay, you got me today, next time?
Well, the thing is, I am the older twin, but also older in Kung Fu too.
Oh, okay.
So I may have certain advantages, but really it just depends on the day.
Yes.
Because sometimes he has my number, sometimes I have his. Sometimes if maybe we start wrestling and do other things, I know he has certain more strengths and things that I don't. You know, so it's interesting, but we're always adapting. We're always, whenever I meet a brick wall, I overcome it. And then he's very adaptable, so he learns it right away too. Though, so then like we're on to the next thing, you know.
That doesn't happen.
I definitely noticed from us when we started, Ari's not much of a talker. When he gets warmed up, he can get going. So I definitely could tell from the two of you guys, Kyle, you're more the strong side of it. If I was doing any type of martial arts or any type of Kung Fu, I would not want to mess with you. Because you're just sitting there like,
you're like, okay.
I mean, I can't hold my tongue. And for you to be the discipline like that, I do not. Like, if I had to fight you or do anything, I'll be like, no, I'm not that guy. He hasn't said a word. And I'm like, I don't even want to know what he's going to unleash when he does start. You know what I mean?
But that's me. And as soon as we came in and we start talking, I'm like, you guys need to talk. Because you guys are the talkers. I like to just sit back and be like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see 100%.
And I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen that with these other twins. The B does a lot of talking, and then they're like, they mix it up. I guess it could change with the girls or the guys, but you guys are almost exactly the way, as at least the energy. Because I'm normally the one just sit back and he'll do all the talking.
Yeah.
Well, I noticed, because last time we went to the twin event, I would try to do a survey, and what I noticed is that the male twins, majority of the time, it's the older twin that does a lot of the conversation part. But with the female twins, they share it really well together.
Yeah.
Yes, you don't know which ones.
That's what we've noticed. Yeah, for sure.
We battle with that, especially since doing the podcast, because I talk and sometimes I tend to overtalk or cut off, and I'm learning and trying to work my way, into sharing a little bit more evenly and things like that. So it's just dope to see you guys, because I wanted him to see that. I want him to know it's not just me trying to talk over him and hey, you're be quiet, but it's more like when one of us is high, one of us is low, or you know what I mean. So when he does start talking more, sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna let him go and have that.
Yeah, but they gotta be able to step up. Is something we work with too, because you don't want to take the spotlight away, but also like being able to step up more, like more energy. So trying to find that harmony in between both, where he does the same thing, when we're teaching class, like I won't be on the floor, I'll let him take the floor, whatever. So you have your own space. So definitely agree with that, and it can be hard because we're even with the podcast stuff too, he's not very talkative. So being able to get out of that shell, it's not easy.
No, it's not, and it takes time. It's easy when you have someone with you, because like I said, you probably started with the Wing Chun and kind of brought Ted along. And he's like, all right, cool. And I'm kind of like, I was like, hey, I think we should do a podcast. We should interview other friends. He's like, all right, whatever. And then something just hit me, and I'm like, I'm not going to wait anymore. Like, we're just going to do it. And we got into it back and forth a lot, because it's like there's this push and pull, and it's like, and now we're here with you guys.
Well, think of it like this, though, right? You had to come out the womb first, right? Like true, you had to, like, you learn to lead the way. So same thing with this too. You got to lead the way, and I noticed the same thing even with other things. A lot of times I just got to put my big toe in the water and just do it first, and then he kind of just follows along too. Even when we do, like, for example, we do in Kung Fu, we do like the line dance. It's for tradition, stuff like that. And you need two people to do the line dance. You need someone to do the head and someone to do the tail. So I'm doing the head and I'm leading the line, and he's like following along. So a lot of the things in harmony with everything that we're doing. Very cool.
And if I can ask you, Ted, if you don't mind, what is something that Wing Chun has taught you about life, if you can think of, and something that the average person could use from Wing Chun, that's something that you've learned specifically about life or being a twin or anything for you specifically?
Really just having a lot of patience, you know, just patience with not only other people but with yourself. You know, just don't take things personal. Relax, stay relaxed all the time.
Nice.
Right. I think that's important. You said patience with other people, but then with
Patience
yourself.
with yourself.
Because a lot of people, rarely do I hear anyone say you have to have patience with yourself. That's pretty deep and important.
When you guys started this, what was the inspiration behind that, as far as, you know, wanting to help others and share what you guys are doing together? Like, what was the inspiration behind that?
Well, I mean, really, when you find something that's like a piece of gold, so valuable, and it has so many benefits, and it's a lot of fun, you really want to, you know, let others know about that great thing that you found, and also helping spread our Sifu's Kung Fu too, because Wing Chun is being lost every day that we see. Every time I go online or whatever it is, it gets more diluted every day. So it's really, I feel, our fiduciary duty to pass on the art unchanged by our own thoughts and ideas, keeping it intact for the next generation. And like I said, just having a lot of fun, building the community. I think that's important too. And you know, I used to play video games, and I used to play sports and do all these other activities, but you know, I think a martial art is probably one of the most difficult things to do, but it has so many benefits, and specifically Wing Chun, it's the benefits are unlimited. You know, I mean, I love playing video games and Call of Duty, but you know, Wing Chun, you know, at least a martial arts, like, it's real life skills that you're developing. Right. You know, so I say, yeah, I think that's one of the best things for me.
What would you share with other twins about just having that support when they want to do something, and knowing that they always have their twin pretty much there?
Most twins have a pretty strong relationship with each other, so you have a partner always available, right? Something you definitely need. And the thing is, Wing Chun is a scarce system, martial art, so it's not really always available to just anybody. So you know, being wherever you're at in the world, you could still have access to a Sifu, which you really need in order to learn Wing Chun Kung Fu. Is you need a guide, you need a Sifu, you need a community, right? Students, and you need a school. So if people don't have a school or a community, you know, they can still have access to a set of twin Sifus that exactly know how to guide them properly, and they can have a partner to train with, and maybe get a group and grow the Kung Fu that way. And I think when you have a twin, you have the cheat code. You can learn twice as fast in half the time. You know, yeah. So I think that's what we're really looking to do.
In half the time. Yeah. I noticed there was another set of twin girls. I can't recall their name. I met them in the Facebook group, but we met at Twinsburg as well. They braid hair. So I don't know if you're familiar. I have daughters, and they get their hair braided. But to have two people braiding your hair at the same time, you literally would take typically 8 to 10 hours. They're knocking people's hair out in like 3-4 hours by doing it together. Less fatigue. One does one side, the other one does the other. And I'm like, how come I didn't think about that? You're braiding someone's hair that typically takes 8 to 10 hours. They're getting it done in same quality in half the time. You could charge more. You know what I mean? And really get more heads done and the whole thing. So I just think there's a power that we have, and I think even though you guys are doing something different like Kung Fu, I think every twin has their own lane, just like every individual does. And I think that's why we're doing this. You can take something from everybody. And I really appreciate Ted too, because that quietness, the strong silent, there's a lot of twins that I talk to, and parents, they're like, oh, one of my twins doesn't like to talk a lot, or doesn't, and I want them to know, like, that's normal. So for people that see it, it makes the other twins feel like, oh, okay, cool. I'm like Ted. I'm more quiet. I let my, you know what I mean? I like to be more reserved and, you know, be more patient and just chill. And I like that, because there are a lot of twins that struggle with that, and they don't understand that there's a natural balance between us. Instead of being upset about how come you don't talk, or how come you talk too much. So I love that, and that's why we want to interview twins, because there's something that especially what you guys are doing, there's something so special about what you're doing, and just the uniqueness that you have. And I love the fact that you guys don't do belts, because with twins, why would you put a label? It's like putting a label. Why would I put a label on Tyari, and then now it's like, oh, I got this color, you got that color, and it's like we both have our own unique unique skills, and just like you guys do. And it's like, we love each other for who we are, and we accept it. And I think that's the beautiful part about being a twin. There doesn't need to be a label. You know what I mean? We are as we are. We're a package deal, but we have our own strengths, our own weaknesses, and things like that.
And we wanted to just thank you too for helping bring twins into the spotlight. You know, as far as I know, you guys are the ones that are doing twin reviews with twins. You know, and a lot of people have so many questions about twins. We see, and you know, so being able to expose it, it's a very twinteresting thing altogether. That you are actually able to have another conversation with a set of twins. To me, it's kind of like, I mean, twins are already an anomaly, and then having another set of twins, it just definitely a lot going on. You know, they say what two's company, three's a crowd, and then four's freaking party, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Between us, I feel like there's a connection, and it's just to see you, just sitting here looking at the energy, looking at the movements, it's so therapeutic. But to hear you guys speak, it's almost like I tell all the twins all the time, I'm like, okay, Tyid, Tyari, and it's almost like I could see myself in you guys, and it's really wild. It really is, but it's so deeply enlightening and therapeutic. It really does something for me, and you know, I hope it does something for Ari, for you guys. I'm just more expressive.
I wish you would have went to the event, because I feel like when you go there, at least the first time, you will definitely, it opens up your, it gives you a great reflection of the actual twinship that you actually have. You might not realize it because we're always around each other. It's just like, oh, that's my brother, whatever. But actually, it's much different because when you're around other twins, you get a better a twin understanding of who they are and like how that relationship kind of works. You know?
Right.
It really brings
I look forward to go this year, but you're absolutely right. I think I'll definitely pull a lot, and I'll feel something different once we go and see all the twins there, because I haven't seen more than maybe 2 sets at one time, but not like that. He said it's really a crazy experience. We all have different experience of it, but it's going to be elevated. So I look forward to that. But yeah, like you said, we already have our bond. You guys have your bond. And like you said, anything the twins decide to do, it could be real estate, it can be race car, it could be anything. But once you guys jump on it together, it's easier from a child. If you say, hey, let's start a lemonade stand, boom, you guys both have each other. Let's do this, let's do that, let's build a fort, let's do this. You have instant help, and then you guys could team up and do it together. As long as you guys work together and figure it out, you guys could make it amazing. Like you said, the hair, it's really anything. And then sitting down talking to you, the bond we both have individually makes our twin bond even more strong when we sit down and talk and see the similarities and the differences that we have, and like, wow, you know, it really doesn't matter what it is, but we have an understanding, automatic understanding. Just like you said, you know, once we see more twins in Twinsburg, and then also just sitting down talking with twins.
Another thing to go off of that though too, because people might not mention this part, but it can also be a negative as far as if you're pointing fingers waiting for the other person to do it, and no one's taking accountability, you know, so definitely having accountability instead of pointing fingers and then nothing gets done. Then you're taking twice as long instead of half as long. Do you know what I'm saying? So it could go either way.
It's crazy. When we started, Ari's looking at me like, man, we're supposed to start this together. I said, look, man, I'm jumping. He's like, no, don't jump yet. I'm jumping. No, wait. I was like, everything's got to be perfect. I said, no, I'm going. Oh. And he's like, what the? And now he's like, shh. Now he has to jump too. So it's like, it's literally how it started. And we go back and forth. We're a lot better now, and we're smoothing things over. But to be honest, earlier this year, we went through some changes in our lives. And I think that it was probably one of the hardest years that we've kind of went back and forth, like not in disagreement with each other. And one of the things one of the twins told me, and I know this to be true, you can't divorce your twin. If I decided, hey, I'm going to do a podcast by myself, when people see me that know him, guess who they're going to think it is? They're going to think it's, hey, bro, is that you I saw on YouTube? And you know what I mean? So it's like, even if I do something and he doesn't want to be a part of it or vice versa, we're still going to be connected. We're still, like, I'm still just as involved. If he decides, hey, I want to go and parachute, I was like, that's real dangerous, or skydive, like something can happen, you know, so I'm going to be concerned about him. But at the same time, it's like, I have to support him, but understand, like, one of the twins said something so dope. Candace and Emily, the girls we interviewed, she said, it's okay for you to be hurt, but I know it's going to affect me one way or the other. it's okay for you to feel something. I just know that eventually I'm gonna end up feeling it some kind of way, and that's what it's like being a twin. Because you always kind of maneuver as in a way. It's not just about me. Because if something happens to me, who else is going to be affected by it? Even if he doesn't want to be, like it's a natural thing.
Yeah.
You know. So I just think it's beautiful what you guys are doing, and just the opportunity that we're bringing to other twins to see that.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons why I'm still shocked the channel is doing so well.
Yeah.
Because it's like I think twins are looking like I haven't seen anything like this before for us.
Yeah.
So you know, it's like, and they're coming in, they're sharing it with their twin, they're sharing it with their mom, their dad, and those numbers are just compounding. We definitely had a rough year this year, but I think the thing about being a twin is you learn to fix it. You have to, because you can't divorce your twin. That's one of the things I was going to say to other twins too.
And we learn a lot too, looking at your channel grow. And you know, I think I mentioned when we first saw you, like, yo, where's your twin at? He's like, yo, you got to have both of you guys on the channel, you know. And it's so funny because we're going through our own thing, and like I'm trying to get him to get in the spotlight too, you know. But Twin B, I know, like they like to, you know, be more reserved. So, but you got to be able to step up into there, you know, and be comfortable at being uncomfortable.
It's not easy, dude. Content, I mean, it's fun, and I love it. I love that we're sharing. I love that we're helping people. When I see messages that people say, oh, this video helped me out, and me and my twin sister or brother, just like that, I think it's great. I kind of wanted to dive into like fraternals too. I feel like their situation is a lot harder, believe it or not. And the reason being is if you have a girl and a boy twin, you have to raise them different. I don't think you can raise a girl twin the same way you raise a boy twin. And I think that creates a wedge. How come she got to go do this, but I couldn't do it? Or how come he gets to do that? And it's like a lot of fraternal twins, I notice as they get older, there's a lot more resentment. Because you guys, if you wanted to go, let's say we're girls, they say, oh, you're going to sleepover. Oh, but your brother can't go, type of thing. Or you could play football, but we don't want you playing football with your brother because you could get hurt. And it's like, well, how come he can play? And they get older and it turns into a thing. I want to lighten this up a little bit. Do you guys have any favorite Kung Fu movies?
Oh yeah, definitely Ip Man. Yeah, so I mean, Ip Man is the teacher of Bruce Lee, and he was very popular in southern China for spreading Wing Chun Kung Fu in Hong Kong. Because when the Japanese army invaded China, they used Grandmaster Ip Man's house as their headquarters.
Okay.
He was a very wealthy person. In the old days, Wing Chun was known as an aristocrat system, so it was for only wealthy, and it forced Grandmaster Ip Man to start teaching the public because he was in poverty at that time. So that's why he started teaching. That's why we're here and we're able to do it. So the Ip Man movies, great choreography in it, nice story. So it's a great thing to see as far as like maybe some of how the movements look. Bruce Lee fans, you know, Jackie Chan, Jet Li. There's a really good movie you guys might like. It's called Twin Warriors with Jet Li.
Okay.
So it's a great.
I'll have to check that out. We like Jet Li, Jackie Chan for sure. I remember when his movies first came out, and for us, I know some of the Bruce Lee movies are like that too, where they have like the caption and the voice is not moving to English because they're speaking in different dialect. But I feel like with Jackie Chan, we would watch his movies because we grew up like right when Jackie Chan started. I mean, he's been doing this thing, but like to the States, I think. That's when his movies started like popping off. I remember we were like, who's this guy? He's like, he does all his own stunts and everything. And then at the end, he always has bloopers where he's like trying to do stuff and get stuff done. But what is something that you guys would say you don't like, or something that they show in maybe Kung Fu or karate movies that you think is kind of like, it doesn't line up?
I mean, one thing I would say is so many hits to knock a guy out. You shouldn't need that many. You should just need like one good one to knock him out. You know, so going on and on is just
So the choreography is like they kind of do it for the camera. Where really it's just like boom, bam, done.
She 1, 2, 3. That's it. Like any martial art. So that's it.
It's like it keeps coming up.
You're right though, because in the movie it's like it could be so many.
That makes sense. I never thought about that, but that makes sense. Like who's going to be fighting for like a full 2 minutes nonstop back and forth?
Nah, if someone's got some skill, one hit, man, should be enough, really.
I like that.
That's
for all you guys that like karate movies, Kung Fu movies, you heard it from the twins, okay?
Right.
It shouldn't take all that time. It should be boom, bam, done. I like that. Because we love karate movies. Like when we grew up, but one of our big things our brothers would watch all the time because they grew up, they were a little bit older than us. So like The Last Dragon was like a big deal, especially like within like black culture. You know what I mean? Because because it was like I think it was like a Berry Gordy thing, and they had a lot of fanfare, like I think Taimak was actually, he did Kung Fu or some type of martial art, and then Vanity was a pop singer, so it was like a lot of fanfare.
But it was very,
all of that.
very Hollywood, so, you know, maybe not so many authentic, you know, things in the movie, but when you look it up.
Yeah, it was very colorful, but one of our things that we
like
liked
entertaining as kids, you know,
was like Three Ninjas. I know you guys are like, all right.
Oh no, yeah, definitely.
We love that. And
what about Double Impact? Seen that one?
It's Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta see that one.
You know what I? You know what was?
We thought he was a twin too.
Yeah, for me, I was like, oh crap, he's a twin. I was like, oh wait, hold on. They had the cool suave
We
twin.
saw that when we were really.
He has his hair combed back. It's, you know, nice and clean, and he got the grill, and the other one is more like, you know, he's more like down to earth and stuff. I was like, okay, this is cool. But then, you know, obviously he wasn't twin, but Jean-Claude was doing his thing back in the day.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
He really
it was the best damn movie.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
It is. I agree.
Yeah, do you guys have any other siblings or just the two of you?
We have some siblings, but they passed away. So.
Older, younger?
We have older brother and older sister, but really we don't have most of our family on our mom's side. They're all in England, and our father's side they're in Michigan or other places around the U.S. So really it's just me and my brother, and we probably see more of our Kung Fu family than our own family because we're always doing Kung Fu.
Right.
Even the friends we had before, we don't really see them that much because we're always doing Kung Fu.
Right.
So we're just always around people doing Kung Fu.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But you guys have each other though. That's a dope thing. And I'm
that's
sorry
why
about
you're
your
able
loss
to
for
do.
your
That's why you guys are
siblings.
able to do this too, because you guys kind of rely on each other. Don't have, you say you don't have so much family. You guys made your own, kind of made another family here.
Yeah.
But I think that's awesome. But and that explains why you guys are able to invest so much time and energy and just your heart and soul into this.
And we have two older brothers. One's 12 years older, and one is 6 years older. Tyid and Tyari.
As far as like relationship, how does that go, or how has that been with you guys as far as like girlfriend, significant other, wives?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't had any problems with like relationships or anything like that getting in the way. You know, we spend quite a bit of time together, so we work together, we train together, you know, live together, so we're doing a lot of the same stuff together, and you know, just kind of staying busy with that. I mean, we haven't really ran into more like Kung Fu. Sometimes I'll have a girlfriend and she's like, "Oh, you gonna do Kung Fu again?" But like my Sifu said, like whenever I had a job and it got in the way of my training, I found another job. You know, and same thing with a girlfriend. Like if they got in the way of my training, then I got another girlfriend.
That makes mentally being in the right place. You know, making sure you're around the right people to support what you're doing. So that's good.
I think I probably wouldn't be as far in the training if I didn't have him though.
Right.
Because you know, sometimes you get kind of bored or you get tired, or you know, maybe you don't want to do it that day, and then you know, he kind of like pushes me, and then he starts doing it. He's around or he does it, and I'm like, nah, I want to do it too. So it's like kind of feeds off of each other, you know.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. He does that to me all the time. All the time.
I would but see the difference for us, we don't necessarily live so close. We're about an hour away, and then he had kids really early, so he has a 19-year-old about to be, well, your other kids 17, 12 and 11. So, and I just started, I have a 2.5, 1.5, and a 7 month. So I have real little ones. So we've had different you know, stages in our lives, and right now I'm starting all over with babies when his kids are all old enough, they're driving and going to college.
It's fun for me. I enjoy it. My niece, she got off the plane this morning. It was like 6 o'clock, and she's looking at me. She's all smiling and stuff. It's weird.
She was in a good mood when she saw you again.
I don't know if my kids did that same thing, because it's like she knows I'm not. I think she knows I'm not her dad, but I'm so much like him that she's like, who's the guy that looks like Dad? Whoever he is, I like him.
Right.
And she's like, every time, it could be months or a couple weeks we don't see each other, when I see her, she'll run up to me, and she's like barely 1 year. She's like 1.5,
Right.
you know? So she's really tuned into me, and I don't know if it's the relationship that she has with her dad that's so close. When she sees me, she's like, uncle, but it's like, it melts my heart. It really does. But
It's awesome.
I wanted to ask you guys, just to close it out.
Oh, it was just one more thing. Just to as far as being closer, hopefully in the future, I'm able to move closer so that we can be closer. Because, like you said, having someone to get up and push you, that's important to have. So, whether it's for us, maybe going to the gym or getting something done, working on this project, just being closer is going to help us a lot more.
I feel like
you can imagine if you were further.
I feel like it's like the worst thing you could do. Like to give you an idea, when we were younger, like at one point I had like gotten a roommate and like we separated, but I felt like I was missing something.
Absolutely.
I don't know how to explain it, but I felt like I didn't have everything with me, you know. So it was weird. It messed up a lot of things, definitely. So I
You
think
can feel
definitely.
it. I think it's a thing. Like if we don't talk on the phone, when we talk, I'm more like, okay, cool. Like, you know, it's like I got a check-in type of thing. And I just feel like when we talk and we kind of go, oh, how's everything going? Oh, everything's here and there. And it's like, all right, cool. I got that done. Because it's like I feel like we're connected. So it's good to know what we have going on with each other. I don't know. I think it's a part of any relationship, but I think for twins, it's important to understand that even when you don't want to be involved, or because I know a lot of twins that don't talk, or I've seen, you know, how things can go a different way. It's terrible. You know, we're not here for a long time, and you want to make the most of it. I know for some people that may seem like the best way, but you know, I feel like we're born together for a reason. You got to do the best you can to make it work. You know, what is something that you love about being a twin?
Yeah, we probably touched on a lot of it, but yeah, you know, if there's anything else specific to you.
For me, you know, someone that's just always keeps it real. You know, I have a training partner. We do Wing Chun, so that's definitely a plus.
Nice.
And, I mean, you can always have someone to count on. You know, anytime, any day, all day. So
And then for you, Kyle, what's something you love about being a twin?
Being able to have someone that will be honest with you, you know, but also has like unconditional love. You know, I don't think that's rare, like with anyone probably that you know. You know, no one's like really unconditional. Like I think your twin would be.
Absolutely.
And you have someone that's, well, I mean, at least for our case, what I like is that we do a lot of the same things and we push each other, you know, and I have, like I said, I think having the transparency with a lot of things, it's kind of like a cheat code, because you can reflect more under a different level of reflection, because you have someone that, you know, like a camera can lie to you, a picture can lie to you, you know, like a lot of things can lie to you, but you know, a twin is going to tell you straight up and down what there is, you know.
That was great. That was a great answer. Because I was thinking when you said that, I was thinking, you know what? I was thinking of a question earlier. What is something that being a twin has taught me that can change the world or help change the world? And I think that what you just said was spot on, you know. And just how you guys had
a similar response. You said keeping it real. Someone who keeps it real with you. You said someone who's honest, but also provides unconditional love. But you're right. And a lot of people will give you their opinions and ideas without having that love, that true care and connection for you, to be like, okay, this is what I feel for you. This is the best thing for you. Your twin's going to give it to you in the most organic way. No one else can. So even almost your parents, they can give you some good advice, but you guys,
like we can give each other. I like that.
And you know, you're not crazy in your head, because you get like, did that just happen? Like, no, yeah, you're right. Like, okay, so you get like confirmation, you know, that you're not crazy. So it's a great way to, like, it's like a built-in like a therapist in a way too, in a way, you know.
It's therapy all day.
And I think that's the reason too I wanted to do this, because I feel like when we were going through it, like I said earlier this year, I felt like, damn, when is it going to end? When are we going to get to the end of this? But interviewing other twins has allowed us to kind of look and be more introspective, but also look from the other side too. Like, this isn't just a Tyari thing or a Tyid thing. This is how twins, you know, can operate, and that we need to embrace it. Like a lot of the twins that I interview are like, just embrace it, you know. And it's amazing, like you said earlier, we're so close. There's a lot of things that go without being said, because we're just always in it. We're always together. So sometimes I'll ask twins like what they admire about each other, and they get emotional and really break down, because it's like, I never told my twin that. I never was asked that question before, and it really just pierced you know what I mean? Like a line right through their heart. They're like, you know, then they start expressing how they feel because it's something we know, we feel it, we just never say it. But if
It's
I
hard
could,
to put in words.
sometimes it can be hard to put in words. So for you guys, last question, Ted, what is something that you admire about your twin brother Kyle that maybe you don't get to tell him all the time?
I admire that he's probably one of the best martial arts artists that I've seen and even known.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's great. That's dope.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Hold it. I know. I told you, bro. And Kyle, for you, for your brother, your twin brother Ted, what is something you admire about your twin brother Ted that maybe you don't get to tell him all the time?
Well, besides the fact that he's just extremely good looking. I mean, this guy is like, just look, you know. No, but I would say, yeah, something that he tries to do his best in everything, you know. And my thing is that, you know, sometimes it's better to get it done than to be perfect all the time, you know. And that's where we kind of run into bumping heads, you know. It's that heaven and earth energy, you know. But yeah, I would say I admire that he always tries to do his best.
Right. Yeah, that's me. That's me then too. So,
yeah, because he's more than, like I say, the perfectionist, and I'm like, bro, it's good enough. You know, send it, do it. Anything you guys want to mention at all? Shout outs to any friends or family, any of your.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to shout out, you know, anyone interested in learning Wing Chun Kung Fu in South Florida. Check us out, zenwingchun.org. Or you can also follow us on Instagram, Facebook. It's Wing Chun Twins, and. Yeah, we're also open to other twins looking to maybe learn the art. You know, if you have a partner, you're pretty close with your twin, reach out to us. You know, we'd love to share the art with you guys. Yeah.
We just found out we were twins. Isn't that cool?
And I'm your twin brother.
We call this here a little twin. Twin, tapping up a jet ski.